Hey everybody, and welcome on back to Minecraft. Today we got yet another tutorial build here for all of you. Today we're going to be taking a look at a fancy schmancy storage room here behind me. I'm so happy with this one, how it turned out. Coming in here, you can see we have a bunch of storage options around, and this is only the first room of all of it. We're going to be tackling this one here. Hope you all do enjoy, but without further ado, let's get into it. For a super quick rough idea of the different types of blocks we're going to be using out here, minus this old daylight sensor, this is kind of what we got going on here. You can see we're using a lot of sandstone, some granite, as well as a few type of stone bricky things. I think these were more for the added bits around. Coming in here, however, this is the base layout for the shape that you want to be using. Over here on the sides, you can see we're at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 wide. So we got a 7 by 7 interior to it. And then over here, we got a little bit 3, 2 diagonal, another 3, 2 diagonal, and another 3. And what you want to do to get yourself started here first is you can come into this side with a bunch of sandstone and bring these ones up to being 3 tall on the corners, and then the middle ones, go ahead and extend these up to being 4 tall here super fast. Just quickly coming around this side. We will deal with all of the windows and all of the punching out bits as we kind of move throughout this one, and this kind of area right here is going to be opened up so that we can have a walkway into the tower base itself. But for now, go ahead and just fill all of these in, and then on the corners of this you can bring in some sandstone stairs and do this on all 4 of the corners over here and over here, and just kind of continuing your way around. You want to make sure that these line up with the middle bits coming all the way to that corner, because that's going to be very, very important for where we're bringing our wall through. Now that we got this rough shape in here, go ahead and grab some smooth sandstone stairs. We're going to throw the roof on super early for this one, and all you're going to do is take smooth sandstone stairs and bring this going all the way around, just creating that bit of a box shape so we can get a partial dome on it, but not too much. It helps. I was looking at a lot of inspiration here for a lot of Star Wars builds and things like that, especially what they had on all of the desert planets and everything that we had going there, especially like what's back in the original Star Wars films or like the original prequels and all that stuff. So 1, 2, and 3, not quite the originals. But anyways, they had a lot of these roofs that were kind of flattened out, then they had a little bit of a lip to them, and then they flatten out again. So what we're doing up here is afterwards just bring in some smooth sandstone slabs and fill this in on the upper layer so that we can still place full blocks on top of this one. And then on top of that, what you want to do is, for getting ourselves started, bring these kind of going all the way around the corner like that, creating an L shape, and then take one off of the end of each of them. All right, time to start adding in the details of this structure here. What we want to start off, coming over to where our front door is, we're going to be bringing up a smooth sandstone block, smooth sandstone stair, doing this on both of the sides. And then what we can do is we can cut these blocks out right here, this 3 by 3 area, that 9 wide thing. And then what you want to do on this side is do a smooth sandstone stair, and cut sandstone slab on top of that one. And then coming in on the inside, for now, let's just fill in some dummy blocks here. We can do our spruce door facing that side of the block. And then apparently I don't have spruce trap doors on me unless I was blind right there. And then we want to just corner or surround our spruce door with this to make it look like we have a bigger wooden entrance to it. I think this gives a great bit of detail to these builds without going too crazy. It makes our doorway look a little bit larger than it actually is. After that, you do want to bring in those 2 cut sandstone full blocks that we had right there, and then doing 2 more of our walls on top. That helps to get a little bit of a look like this. Then coming over to our sides where we had these little dummy blocks to begin ourselves with, basically 1 in from the corners, bring these up to another full block, and then do some smooth sandstone stairs on top of them. And what I did here is we can break that guy open and go into our inventory of all of our blocks, grab an oak trapdoor, place it from the outside, and open it or close it, click it, right click it once. And then that's going to bring you to where it's like a nice little window in there. Then coming out from that is we need some acacia trapdoors, some stone, and some stone slabs. And what we're going to do here is do 2 full blocks, and then we can just do a full block on the ground and slabs and slabs. And that makes this look a little bit like a pipe. And then we can bring these ones. What I find is if you make them all look like they're going the same way, like they're all going this direction or into the building or whatever, it makes it a little bit more believable as a pipe here. And on the back, all we want to do is bring in these blocks up here and then doing the 2 stairs on top and continuing that over to this side here as well. And then on this one, I also wanted to plop out a little bit of a spot in here for another one of those little windows using our oak trapdoor. All right, to get ourselves started here, what you can do is simply stack these ones up to being 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 tall, going all the way around on this one, including interrupting our roof in here. So that would be here and that and then one more there, and then we can bring these going all the way around. This is just going to help us get that base idea of what the shape of this one's going to be in the end, and then we're actually going to widen out the base of it and trim a few things away from the top. But this is just kind of a good starting point for ourselves here. I find it's a lot easier to get our base shapes in and then start the detailing process, because I think that's a little bit easier to follow. Let me know what y'all think on that one. But anyways, what we can do now here is we have these smooth sandstones at the end of all of our 3 wide ones. Go ahead and just stack up a smooth sandstone stair on top of all of them, going all the way around. Note where we added this little window on the back side of our box over here is I didn't include that pillar there because we had these other ones stretching in, being much taller and stretching into that build itself. So I decided to play favorites a little bit on that. Now coming back over to where our front door is and where we have these lovely things right here, what we're going to do is stack this up 2 blocks, and then in the middle we're going to stack up 1 block with a cut sandstone slab on it, and then do this on all 3 of those visible sides that we have, so we can just get this extra bit of detail in here, and that helps to really widen things out from where we are at. And then now we're going to be bringing in that lovely acacia slab textures that we have everywhere, and you can bring this in just along this level right here, bringing in acacia slabs going across the entire thing, and bringing yourselves all the way into that wall, connecting up as much as we possibly can of this circle, then following through with our old plan of fence gate, fence, and then do fences all the way along, and then on the 3 wide ones in the middle add that fence gate, and then we can bring ourselves all the way around here again and do bam, and finishing off these final ones right like that. And what I like to do on top of this right here is you can do that guy right there with our stair, and then we do some slabs just bringing itself all the way around here and just continuing this one going all the way around. Y'all probably, if you've seen the other tutorials, would definitely recommend checking them out. This is the 3rd tutorial house we've done in the style. Seems like y'all really love this one. Any other styles or things that you want me to be checking out, be sure to let me know that as well, because I would absolutely love to check out a few more of them here for y'all. But what we can do next is we're going to be bringing in some smooth sandstone to the top of this to help kind of round things out. And on the corners, go ahead and do 3 stairs facing just totally normally here in towards the center, or directly out from the center, I guess we could say. And then on these corner ones, this is where things are going to get a little bit interesting. What I find here is going to help us a lot is if we bring in some polished granite and do these ones on all 4 of the corners. So just something like this, and you'll see why here in just a second. I really like to get that extra bit of pop of a color in here, having our granite in here. So what I found out is if we actually use some more stairs, right, like this, so you have 4 stairs in here, it reveals that corner of both of those blocks. It gives you a really cool pop of color from down here. And then if we do that on all 4 of the sides, we get a really kind of space agey effect to it. I don't know what it is about the granite here with the sandstone, but it feels very space agey to me. I know there's a lot of things that we probably could use instead, like a quartz or something along those lines might work a little bit better for us, but I think this one right here is just perfect for what we're trying to do. Now, bring in our cut sandstone slab back that we had. We can simply just trace this outline that we have up here. So you do 3, then 1, and then 3, creating a bit of a circle for ourselves. And that's going to bring us all the way up to the top. And then after this one, you can bring in just some smooth sandstone slabs. And what we want to do is actually raising this up one and then just fill in this whole area here. So we probably don't want to have that full block being filled out right there. This gives us a little bit of headroom. And if we want to cram some chests or barrels or anything really at the top layers, it allows them to be opened going into the slabs. But that is pretty much most of the exterior of this one. We got a few more things to tackle. Coming onto the inside now, we can take a bit of a stab at this structure right over here. I know it's going to be a little dark, so let me plop a light down for us here, just right in the center. We can give ourselves a nice torch, which will help us out here, and we'll start creating a little bit more light in here very soon as well. But what I like to do is bring in some granite and actually trace these ones going all the way down from the ceiling to the ground for ourselves. And where I actually had the ground floor, it was right here. I decided to raise this one up a little bit. So I brought in some sandstone to be the flooring in here. You could also bring in like birch or oak or something along those lines. And then I had a little bit of a doorway, bringing ourselves right down through here, and then would get you into the main warehouse storage room of sorts that we have going on here. Now that we're in here, this looks very weird with being the polish at the top of everything, right? So probably what we want to do is maybe mix up a few of these and just kind of throw these things in here. It helps kind of fill in the space and make it look a little bit more interesting. So we can just add a few of those in, and maybe we do something right like here. That works out for me. And then what I like to do, or what I did do on the top of this one is you can actually come along here with some smooth sandstone stairs and start circling these bits around like this. It helps to kind of dome off the roof and smooth it out a bit from the inside, so it actually in the end is going to feel a little bit larger in here, which I think is super cool. And then grabbing our smooth sandstone slabs that we had, I like to bring this one in right there, right like that, and right like that, and right there. And actually, now that I'm thinking about it, what could be kind of cool is if we took this bit that we have up here and let's go ahead and actually extend that up to being another half slab taller, which would make the top of our structure a little bit more mob proof, and it gives us something a bit more like that, a much more arched ceiling that we have. And then bring in some acacia fence gates. We can go around the corners right like this and get a little bit more detail work done for how this building is being held up. Now that we're on the inside, however, we've got these little bits right over here, which we normally add some windows into to help bring some more natural light into here. What you can do on these is smooth sandstone stair, cut sandstone slab, and then do that on all three of them. I know we're not going to be doing that wall over there because that's kind of filled into what we have going on already. It would be a little interrupted by another wall right there. So we're probably going to be best to avoid that one. But that is pretty much the entire structure in itself. I know we've done a little bit more detail work on the other one. I would recommend bringing in where you have all of the sandstone over here. Mix it up pretty 50-50 at the base of where you have smooth sandstone versus regular sandstone, and as you go up, add in more of that smooth sandstone. The last additions we would need to make in order to finish off our structure here is what we've kind of started referring to as technology poles. These are what are adding that Star Wars aspect to it. We've done a few of these before and I've showed you how to build them all, so I figured it'd be kind of nice to just talk about how I lay them out and why I put them where they are, instead of showing you how to detail these specific ones. Because this, let's be honest, we can stop right here. You can pause the video. You can probably figure out how to build that stuff super quick. But what I like to do is I like to bunch them up on kind of sides of the building. So you can see this side kind of in this loose like L shape or almost like a V or something. We have them right here. And then the middle is very open. And then these ones are very much in a line right throughout here, which might be connected to like a research post. I try and limit the number of full blocks I'm using on it because I find it looks very busy. And if you evenly scatter them across the entire top of your building, again, it looks very busy. So these ones over here are specifically placed right here because we can't really place them on top of that. I didn't want two down on this layer because I felt that that would look pretty weird. So I had to place this one in here due to the shape of the structure. Then because that one was placed in there, I made it very small and figured we could add a taller one right back in here to help kind of bunch them up on this side. It was either right there or right here. And if we did this one, we would be extending out to being right here, where then those are basically a block away. I wasn't down for that. I wanted to move it a little bit further so we get that air gap, and that actually evenly balances that middle one. Then here, so it's not on the same X or Z axis as anything else, I decided to move this one over another block. So you can see none of them are on the same X or Z axis. They're all kind of moving around, and that continues to be the exact same with the pattern up here. We're very limited by uses of slabs and things because it limits where we can place these things. If only we could place things on slabs, that would be pretty cool. But that's the general idea behind them. Let's take a look at our interior. Now, coming in here, you'll notice a few things off the bat. Blast furnaces for the floor, so you could smelt so many iron ingots down here. I know it's probably not super starter friendly. Fill this with some cobblestone or some stone or some andesite, and it'll look really cool. But I thought this looked kind of like a techie, space-agey floor of sorts, so I went with that. Because I was thinking like a pod racing bay of sorts is kind of what we have going on in here. Then over here, we got a bunch of storage racks going on. We could cram another chest in there if we wanted to, but I didn't want to have a floating chest because, like, you know, you'd get it like that and there'd be three floating right there and everywhere. So I wanted to connect that one into the ground, so I went for the trapdoors. Same pattern that we had on both of these sides. I tried to use as much storage space as we could while still getting some futuristic lighting using our end rods. Thought that one was pretty cool. Coming over here, I just needed to fill in another pillar, so we added some more barrels. Up here, we have a bit more of a techie something science facility of sorts going on, which is housing our ender chest. Probably very important to have that spruce trap door in there. I don't know why I put it there, but we got some more lights up here at the top, which are all guarding back some barrels and things that you could touch on. We got some plants in here and just some random techie things of redstone bits thrown together that I don't know what they do. But everybody, that's going to have to do it for today's episode, for today's tutorial. I hope you all did enjoy this one. I hope this one was useful for everybody down there who's looking to build some cool Star Wars things. Let me know what other type of stuff you'd like to see here. I'm thinking we'll do a tutorial like one a week or maybe one every other week. I'm just thinking of these as like ways to kind of fill empty slots when I get behind on things, so I don't plan on moving into like full-on tutorial everything. A lot of people have been wanting to see some builds from stuff I've done inside my own worlds, like my single player world, the houses on source block as like redone as a starter house. If that's interesting to you all, please be sure to let me know down in the comments below. Anyways, click that like button if you did enjoy, subscribe if you're brand new, and I will catch you on the flip side.